Hi, everyone. I'm Michael, and this is Dave. And we decided to record a little conversation between the two of us around why we're doing this, why we're passionate about marketing for coaches, and what really drew us to this work, and putting resources and some other things in the future together around this topic. And it was really the idea originated with Dave, and I kind of came across it and got really excited about it. So I was hoping we could start, Dave, if you
Sure.
would share why
Yeah.
marketing for coaches? What has you passionate about
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. Thanks, Michael. As you know, I became a coach and we did some training together. And I became a coach because I experienced the power of coaching myself firsthand. And that's what turned me on to coaching. I just realized it was such a great way to get help and support in real time with what was going on, the challenges I was facing that day, instead of other types of work I've done where sometimes it wasn't as actionable. I felt like I got practices that I could put into place and reflect on. I was able to look at my limiting beliefs in a safe place. I think especially, I mean, I come from the business world. So when I'm working with business folks, that it's just, there's so many ways to apply that. And it's not the sort of training you get on the job. It's not the sort of training you get um, in school. It's really something that needs to happen ad hoc as it's going, as things are coming up to you with you. So I wanted to help other coaches help people because I think we learn a lot about coaching, but we don't always learn a lot about how to market ourselves as coaches and have those discussions. So that's kind of my story of what has me passionate about doing this effort with you.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
happy to share my
How
story
about
too.
yeah? How
But
about you?
well, before that, actually, Dave, if you don't mind me asking,
Yeah. Sure.
what do you think gets in the way? Why is
Mm.
it so hard for coaches to market in your experience?
Yeah, great question. I think that there's not a clear roadmap for
Mm,
coaches. I think, you graduate from law school and you maybe know you need to go, intern at a lawyer's office,
mhm.
join a firm. But I think with coaching, a lot of times people are coming to it later in life, so they're not
Yeah.
maybe starting out in their early 20s as a coach, right? So they're kind of have some job experience already, and so they're shaped by whatever industry they were in as like, oh, that's the way you market. And then they get out in the world, and coaches aren't really hired that way. A lot of coaches I've hired and worked with, and a lot of times when I'm getting clients, a lot of it comes word of mouth, and then
Mhm.
that can be a bit of a quagmire. Like, how do we create word of mouth marketing? And that's a little bit of I guess, a commercial for things we can talk about later about how to stimulate
Yeah.
word of mouth. But I think that gets in the way. I think people are kind of approaching it with the same paradigm as whatever their life experience is. And we all see all the talking heads on YouTube and in content marketing. We think, oh, I have to be that.
Right.
I guess I better gear up and become a content marketer, which I know you and I really touched base on early on as you felt
Mhm.
similar. So maybe you can share a little bit of that wisdom that you shared with me early on about yeah, how the content marketing road is for
Yeah,
new
sure.
coaches.
Sure, I'm happy to do that. I can launch into that right now, or I can share a little bit of
Yeah.
my story around how I got to coaching. What, you have a
Oh,
preference?
yeah. Why don't you share your story first, and
Okay,
then we'll
sure.
circle back to content
Pro-
marketing.
Probably not dissimilar, although
Hmm.
it happened at an interesting stage of life. I came to coaching as a client first. I
Hmm.
around 2014, 2015. I like to use the metaphor. My life had become one of those old country music songs.
Yeah.
My my truck broke down,
Mm.
my dog ran away, my woman ran off to Mexico,
Yeah.
and
Nice. Yeah.
coaching was one of the things that really helped. And
Mm.
not only did it help with the personal things that I was going through at the time, and the professional things, and the spiritual things,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
it was something, the more and more I went through the process as a client, I really saw myself being able to do as on the other side too. I got curious about it. It looked like it
Hmm.
would suit me.
Hmm.
And I was I had experienced firsthand the power of it, and
Yeah.
felt from the inside my life improving through working with a coach, that I already had a really strong belief in the worthwhileness of coaching. And I really didn't pause. I went straight for it. And when I started as a client in 2015, I was a fully certified integral master coach is my specific designation by late 2017, just gone right through. So it was really powerful in my life. And then similar to you, Dave, well, maybe there was a little period in between where I decided I quit my full-time job right then and there in 2017, even a little bit before I finished. And I made $1,000 that year. My first year as a coach, Canadian, by the way. So at a time when our dollar was not doing very well. So just kind of lost and flailing in terms of I really believed in my skills as a coach, but didn't have anyone to practice them on or know how to connect with the people that were looking for that. So it was sort of a firsthand journey into how to meet clients, who are my clients, how to navigate marketing and running a business. It's going a lot better now.
Yeah. And so you tried some content marketing, I think, early on, and then and maybe fell into some of the same traps that I think we see people falling into, right? That where they maybe it's not a trap for some, but it can be a trap for others. But maybe speak a little bit about that. I really liked when we talked.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think the first thing I did was hire a graphic designer for a logo and a color scheme and all that sort of stuff. And I'm happy with it. I still use it, but it didn't do anything for a good 3-4 years until I started actually having clients, and it really had nothing to do with that. I attribute 0% of my success to it. But it felt like, I think I had a belief at the beginning, whether it was through the logo or through content, making posts on Facebook, writing blogs and stuff like that, that I needed to look professional. In the absence of knowing what I was doing, I better convey that I know what I'm doing. And I thought the way to do that was through polished content and, a polished sort of internet and public presence. And I no longer think that's the case. I mean, it's not a bad thing. And if there's a coach out there that really has a passion for graphic design or a passion for writing, absolutely. If you enjoy that, you should do it. I didn't really. I thought it was something you had to do. What I wanted to be doing was talk to people and actually be coaching. And it turns out, and we can go into this a little bit later or in another video, that's actually where I started getting the clients from. Just talking to people.
Nice. Let's maybe wrap this one up for today, because we like to keep them short and bite-sized. We'll tackle that in another video. But yeah, I think we'd just like to say that Michael and I are both passionate about helping coaches market themselves and in the way that serves them. That's not that feels in line with their own heart and soul and all that. And I think that there are ways to do that. So we hope to talk about even more in upcoming videos. So thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you.